Alright everybody, I am just trying to clear up a couple of misconceptions or misunderstandings of how the JBL SRX powered line kind of works. The amp module in these things are pretty technical. You'll see here that I have a cleared event log, so we'll go ahead and close that. You'll see here that I have some input level. You don't hear much because I have it turned down. I'm going to turn this up till it clips. It is obviously clipping now. You'll see the speaker blink. There it goes. Alright, so over here we have an event. Let's go check out what that event is. What do you know? Limiting. So it's limiting on the input. So there is input limiting control within this amp module. Very clearly and evidently so. So there is more to this than we think. It's been talked about that this setting here is related to that. It is not. This has to do with the output side for sure. I can tell you that for a fact right now. I have it set at -40. I can tell you right now that I cannot turn this thing up loud enough without damaging my relationship with my neighbors. My suggestion is to leave this alone. -10 is where it's typically set at, and -10 is where I would suggest leaving it at. That's what it comes from the factory, and it is a perfect compromise between safety and performance. If it's set at -40 under normal usage at louder levels, typically when the output gain starts getting up here, you'll start to see the limiter come down a little bit, and it just comes on earlier. It says dB. I don't know what that is relating to, because as far as I can tell, this is dBu, as is this, but the scaling from the input to the output side is different, so I don't know what the scaling is on that. My suggestion, don't worry about it, leave it the heck alone. It has also been brought up in the past that you can use the makeup gain technique to eke a few extra dB out of this thing. My suggestion is to leave it alone, but if you're so inclined to give it a shot, you leave everything in its stock setting. You just simply turn up the makeup gain to +12, well, between +12 and +16, and that'll get you the wanted output gain that you need without having to crank the output meter all the way up to +12. I no longer use that technique. It was a very short-lived one for me. I found no appreciable gain in doing so. I found that just simply turning the master all the way up to +12 is just good enough. You get plenty of gain, plenty of volume, and I prefer kind of having the safety built in. And just because I can, I'm going to show you that there definitely is a heck of a lot more going on with this speaker than meets the eye. You may not have realized it before. Here, let's turn this down a little bit. There we go. They're starting to clip on one end or another, and that might have been that -10 thing that we were talking about. This is relating to the input side of things, but this is, as you'll hear, maybe not. Yeah, you can kind of hear it. That is the high frequency driver, and then this one is the low frequency driver. So you can create your own panels, and you can control each side of this thing individually if you want. So there is a lot of power and performance in this thing. This thing here is just a meter for the input side going into the power amp section of this. There's a part of me that wonders if I can expose what this thing does without that being there. Let's just go ahead and drop it down and see if it makes a difference. So we're at -40. Let's see here. Let's close this out. Did I minimize? Yes, I did. Come on, there you go. Nope, doesn't make a difference. So that's purely on the input side. So right there it's clipping, even though we're not clipping on the input. So I'm not too sure exactly how that scales. So there's other settings obviously inside of this thing. There is a long list of things that you can add to these panels that you can create, and you can control this thing pretty much at the granular level. I noticed that it's very difficult to get the compressor side of things to work, obviously, because you just can't get enough volume to do anything with it. So for this one I just played around with the independent channel levels. So in either case, I hope all is well. I hope this clears a couple things up, and well, take care, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye.